And joining us now here on the Kenny and JT Show on News Talk 1480 WHBC from Goodyear, Arizona, spring training home of your Cleveland Guardians, starting pitcher Tristan Mckenzie. Tristan, thanks for making time for us. How's camp going for you so far?
So far, so good. Thank you guys for having me on.
Always great to catch up with you, Tristan. And I'm just curious, we're asking all the players this. What was your off season like, not knowing when the season was going to start? How did you stay sharp? How did you stay ready?
I felt like a lot of my off-season training and my programming, a lot of that is just tailored to make sure that I'm ready to go once I do arrive to spring training. So I wouldn't say it varied a ton. I will say right before camp did get started, there was a little gray area where I felt like we were kind of in limbo. But from that aspect, it was more just trying to find guys like-minded. Everybody was out here trying to get their work in, so just linking up with whoever I could. I got some working with Plesac, and then when I was back home, I met up with some other guys, and we just kind of all threw together, threw our bullpens together, and just got ready for season.
Tristan, last year, what a great story, because as we get into the fold and all the starters go down, they develop Tristan Mckenzie. We weren't sure whether or not you'd be down at the minor leagues a full year. You come up, you go back down. You come up, you go back down. At some point in time in the second half, something flipped. What was it?
I'd say I just attacked guys more. I felt like early on in the season, especially through that middle part where I was doing a lot of up and down, I felt almost unsure of myself when I was out there. I was throwing and kind of hoping and wishing to throw strikes and hoping and wishing to get outs, and it kind of got to a point where I was like, if I'm going to contribute to this team, we're going to win games, I'm going to have to go out there and try and dominate guys and pitch for the guys around me. And I think I just kind of hit my stride, hit the gas hard, and kind of rolled with it.
Was there something you wanted to work on specifically, Tristan, this offseason when you, went back, you looked at the film, you studied yourself and everything, and things that you remembered from the season? Was there a specific area you felt, okay, I need to take this to the next level?
I think the biggest thing for me last year kind of was realizing that my stuff played. I felt like I got lots of swings and misses on the heater. My curveball played, the slider played, and more just figuring out how I can use those weapons and use them effectively from the first pitch to my last pitch.
Tristan, when you get that first taste at the big league level and then you get sent down, how do you keep yourself ready mentally?
I think the biggest thing is understanding that even though you do get sent down to AAA or whatever it may be, hypothetically speaking, if an injury were to happen, like the end goal is for you to be with the big league team. The end goal is for you to win with the big league team. So I think just keeping that goal in mind, it allows you to go get your work done wherever you're at and keeps you really locked in.
Guardian starting pitcher Tristan Mckenzie joining us here on the Kenny and JT Show. Tristan, this rotation with you entrenched in it now is one of the best rotations in all of Major League Baseball. I'm just curious, is there a friendly competition amongst you guys when Biebs goes out and, throws a complete game two-hitter with 14 strikeouts? Do you want to come out and try and duplicate that? And is there any friendly wagering going on amongst you guys?
I don't think there's any wagering going on, but I'd say we're a little competitive like brothers. I feel like we go out there and we try and play off each other's strengths, and we definitely hype each other up. And if Biebs goes out there and strikes 14, I don't know if I'm going to be able to try and duplicate that, but I'm definitely going to go out there and try and put up a quality start and make sure we're going out and getting a win, just because I know if he's doing that, we're definitely going out there getting a win.
Tristan, a quality start. Is there a set number in your mind of innings you'd like to pitch when things are working well, and you get upset sometimes they pull you a little early and you still got something left that day?
I mean, I never really second guess the coaches when it comes to coming out of the game, but I mean, in my ideal world, I'd go seven scoreless every time I could.
As far as your repertoire, what you throw for our fans out there of the Guardians, listeners to this radio show, Tristan Mckenzie. All right, we saw him a little bit last year. We've heard a lot about him for many, many years. Give us a scouting report on yourself. How would you break yourself down if you were scouting Tristan Mckenzie?
He's going to go out there. He's going to attack guys with his fastball, and he's going to keep them off speed with the off speed. But he's going to be able to throw all pitches and all counts, and he's going to be able to put guys away, whether it be a fastball, curveball, or slider.
And for you, as far as Carl Willis as a pitching coach, what does he bring to the table? Why is Carl so successful? We talked to him yesterday. He's had five Cy Young Award winners. And I know that's something as a starting pitcher that's, a goal of every starter out there. They want to win that Cy Young. Well, this guy's got five, so he's doing something right. What is it about Carl?
I think Carl just finds a way to give everybody their information singularly. I feel like we all learn differently, and he never tries to force any one of us into a specific box. He understands that I may not throw like Bieber doesn't throw like Plesac doesn't throw like Quantrill doesn't throw like Civ, and we all have different mindsets when it comes to how we shape our pitches, how we go about trying to learn and to execute. So I feel like he does a good job of playing up on each one of our strengths and teaching us in a way that we can understand.
Tristan, I want to ask you this question because I get asked it a lot. You look like a basketball player. You went to Vanderbilt. You pitched there. Were there multiple sports growing up?
So I really have only played baseball my whole life.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Just growing up in South Florida, baseball was my first love, and for me, there was nothing else. There was nothing better.
Oh, the weather's nice year round there, so you can play baseball every day in South Florida, right?
Why change?
Yeah, exactly. Tristan Mckenzie, our guest here on the Kenny and JT show. And Tristan, the offense, you've got Jose Ramirez, you've got Franmil Reyes as the two big boppers, right, in this offense. The rest of the lineup, they're waiting and seeing how spring training goes and trying to put together 9 guys that are going to provide offense and runs for you starters. So that means this team is going to be really reliant on its starting staff. Do you guys feel the extra added pressure that you guys are the ones that are going to carry this team at least until they figure out who those 9 guys are on a regular basis?
Not at all. I feel like we have a lot of guys that can hit in this lineup, especially just kind of looking around the clubhouse. You have guys like Miles Straw, he's going to be on base. You got guys like Ahmed Rosario, who crushed last year. I feel like there's a lot of guys that we can look to in the lineup where we won't have to feel stressed to go out there and be perfect every time we're out there.
Because that's something that I think really hits some pitchers. Some guys can handle the mental aspect, but if you've got an offense that's scoring only 3 or 4 runs a game, you go out there thinking, man, I got to be perfect. I can't give up more than 2, right? But we talked to Brian Shaw about this, the mental approach for you when you do have a bad outing, or if a team's going through a rough stretch offensively and not scoring runs. How do you handle the mental side of things when those areas pop up?
I feel like regardless of if we're going out there and scoring 9, 10, 15 runs a game, or if we're not scoring at all, I feel like our job as pitchers is to keep the game close and to not let the other team score. So I feel like regardless of what's going on the other side of the plate, it's our job to keep the game close. So on the off chance that we're having a bad day, we can have a solo shot win us a game.
In your young career so far, I haven't pitched in all the major league ballparks yet, but is there a park maybe in division that you're like, man, I got to have the pill today, man. I want to go up against these guys. And if so, who is it?
I'd say probably my favorite team to pitch against is Detroit. I feel like it's a lineup that we face a lot. But outside of that, stadium-wise, I really love pitching in Minnesota. Why?
What is it about that stadium that suits you?
I like the fans, and mainly, I think they do a good job of just keeping the energy in the stadium very high, especially when they're playing us. And then on top of that, I just think it's beautiful to look at.
What about, I guess, the worst fans? Is it the Yankees in New York? Is it the heckling? Is that the worst? Chicago. Really?
The White Sox, I don't know. There's some beef. The fans in Chicago don't like us very much, and I don't know if we like them.
All right, fair enough. We'll keep an eye out for that. That's great. Tristan Mckenzie, our guest here. Tristan, this team last year fails to make the playoffs. You go 80-82, right? Finish in second place in the division. Is there the belief in the locker room that you are going to get back to the playoffs this year? No doubt you guys believe that you can accomplish that?
In my mind, yes. I feel that we had some ups and downs last year, and I felt like we didn't showcase our true ability, and I feel like this year we will.
What's it going to take for that to happen? What's the key to that?
I think baseball is a game of runs, not necessarily runs, but a game of it's kind of streaky. You go high, you go low, and just kind of figuring out a way in the middle through the hot and the cold. And I feel like this year we're just gonna figure out a way to click it a little more often.
All right, we're doing this in honor of March Madness. The Final Four is this weekend, right? So we have our favorite four that we're asking all the players that we're interviewing here this week on the Kenny and JT show. So your favorite band, music, artist, what you listen to? Who's that?
As of right now, it's been a lot of Young Boy Never Broke Again.
Okay, you say as of right now. Are you one that changes? You don't have one that's an always go-to for before starts or anything like that?
So before starts, I always listen to Future. Always listen to Future. I actually have one song that I listen to every time.
All right.
But I'd say in general, I have a wide music taste, a wide variety of music that I like. So my favorite artist kind of bounces around just based on who's releasing new projects and what I'm really feeling.
Okay, what about TV show or streaming show that is either out now or is one that's a binge-worthy watch no matter when?
So Breaking Bad is probably my all-time favorite binge-worthy show, and as of late, I've been watching a lot of Suits.
There you go. Oh, excellent.
So I'm on season 5 now. I actually watched it previously, and now I restarted watching it probably a month and a half, 2 months ago.
See, Breaking Bad, I haven't got on board yet, and you're like the umpteenth million person to tell me you got to watch Breaking Bad. JT, my partners, it told me that. But Suits, Harvey is phenomenal. Love Suits. Meghan Markle, of course, in that as well. So that's an outstanding choice. And JT, if you haven't watched Suits, that's one you should go check out. How about your favorite movie, Tristan?
Oh, I get super nostalgic with this one. Toy Story, all-time favorite.
Toy Story. See, he's 24. Right. So there you go. Toy Story is right in his wheelhouse. Okay, and favorite meal or food that you're going to sit down and have if you can only have one meal?
Steak and potatoes.
You and Bobby Bradley.
If not, anything my mom cooks.
Okay, good answer. There you go.
Smartest answer you've given all day.
I think so, right? Yeah, you got to take care of mom that way. Hey, Tristan, thanks so much for the time. You always make it for us. We appreciate it. Continued success with the Guardians. We look forward to talking to you throughout the year.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, JT. Thank you guys for having me on.
Love it, man. There he is, Tristan Mckenzie, another one of the big arms the Indians have in that starting rotation. We'll talk more Indians. There it is, $10 fine. Another big arm that the Guardians have in that rotation. We'll talk more Guardians baseball when we return here on the Kenny and JT Show.